Is this how I do this? It's about 6 p.m. I had acting class, and I just had some weird work stuff come up that I had to figure out. So to be honest, my mood right now, how am I feeling? I'm feeling a little bit stressed. I'm feeling frustrated. Honestly, negative, which is not my favorite emotion, but the emotion that's making me cheerful is getting a chance to sit down and talk to you guys today, because what the am I doing? Wait, am I allowed to swear? Will YouTube be mad if I'm gonna probably bleep that out. Look at how ready I am for this moment. I have a little printed sheet of paper in front of me. My computer's here. There's like this little adapter thing that plugs into the microphone that plugs into the computer. Anyway, welcome. Hi. How's it going? This is a weird way to start this. I don't know what I'm doing, and I've never done this before. So you guys are getting my very first ever recorded Anna Pretends to Have a Podcast. And could this become a little series on YouTube? Abso-freaking-lutely, because how fun would it be to be like Anna Pretends to blank? And each time it's something new. Like maybe I go take pottery classes and I pretend to be a potter. Maybe I make a short film and pretend to be a director, even though I do have a master's in film and television production, so I can technically call myself a director. Mouth noises are going to be something very interesting to edit out of this. I'm just now realizing. So if you hear me make mouth noises, no, you didn't. Okay, we're not going to talk about it. Welcome. Whether you just found me from one of my social channels, whether you were scrolling your Discover page on YouTube, or maybe you were watching compilations of cat videos falling asleep and suddenly you heard my angelic voice through your speakers. Hi, I'm Anna. If we haven't met before, I'm so happy you're here, and I hope that you choose to stick around for a little while. I don't have a podcast. It's not real. But I've always been told that people wonder what I would sound like if I did. So I'm pretending to have a podcast this week. I had something happen this week that inspired me doing this idea. And it is deeply rooted in the fact that I thought about making a video about it. I was like, I'm going to do a TikTok. And then I was like, it kind of feels a little serious for TikTok. Maybe I will do a spam and I'll just blast it on spam. But then that also felt just like was hitting a wall. Like it was just me talking to a phone. And then I thought about doing a makeup tutorial while I talked about my issues from this week. And that also just seemed like it wasn't giving the story or the lesson the appreciation that it deserves. So here we are. Now I am filming a fake podcast for my YouTube channel, and I made a sheet of paper so I can keep myself on topic because I have this great thing where I jump all over the place. Sorry if I get sidetracked while I'm doing this. What am I doing? I keep having realizations that I'm sitting here filming this like I have a podcast, and it's nice to be just sitting in my home talking to nobody. It's honestly, this is a great way to start this. I'm going to tell you about my week. I'm going to tell you about today. This week was super fun. I don't remember any of it. I feel like that's a common trait currently in my life. I think as I'm getting older, I'm letting my life pass me by, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. And I'm very aware that it's happening, but in some way I also still can't stop it. And we're figuring that out. We're going to yoga more for that. That's very LA of me to try to solve my issues in that manner. But funny enough, I was just saying that I felt relaxed hearing my voice on audio, and never did I ever think I was going to say that. And on top of that, in class today, I'm taking acting classes right now. I just decided I think it'd be fun, and I've always wanted to learn. I did a single musical in high school, and now I'm like, you know what? We're going back to the roots. 10 years later, I'm going to try to do a musical. Not even a musical. I'm just going to try to act. And I'm actually having the best time of my life. I just think I love learning. I think it's just something ingrained in me since the beginning of time that I just love school and I love learning. So in my acting class today, my note was that I don't feel comfortable enough with my voice. And I 100% agree. I think a lot of us have multiple versions of our voices. And when I'm on camera, I try to do the Anna voice that's like meeting people. But I can't keep up with it. And it's like a head voice. It's not like a body voice. And because of that, the characters that I'm creating in acting class are missing depth, if that makes any sense. Like, you can see my discomfort with my own voice on screen, which sucks. In a weird way, I didn't think that I would like how I sounded sitting here right now talking to you about that issue. But instead of talking like this all the time about all the things that I'm thinking about this week, I'm trying to just be more relaxed and just let myself talk like I normally speak, or when I'm in a room alone. So I guess this is kind of comforting. Is this like a form of therapy? It could be. I talk to myself all the time anyway. This is just a new way to record it. The topic this week is confidence, self-worth, finding oneself, accepting oneself, maybe slowing down comparative mindsets. Somehow, I'm going to touch my toe on a little bit of all of those this week. You can't look at them because they're not for free. But we're going to talk about them in one way or another, because I think that that's such an important topic, especially for women, to like understand where confidence comes from. And I think that for me, at least, it came with age a little bit. In case I'm new to you or you're new to me, I am 26. I graduated from college in 2019 with a degree in mechanical engineering. I got my master's in film and television production, which I graduated last May in. I'm in 1 year out of school. And like I said, I love learning, so that's why I'm going back to school for acting right now. And it's technically not school, but I'm taking classes here in LA. This week, what I did stumble across was a post by my boyfriend. And once again, if you're new, my partner is an incredibly talented, incredibly wonderful individual named Brew, and he is a radio host here in Los Angeles, and he's a syndicated station, so you can hear him all over the country. He does everything from pop to country music, and because of that, he gets this incredible advantage of getting to meet a lot of really cool artists. Now, this story, which I'm going to preface with saying this, has nothing to do with the people in it, except for, actually, it doesn't even have to do with the comment section. It has nothing to do with anybody in it. It is literally just about the fact that I was a little bit proud of myself for the lesson that I learned in it, and I just wanted to share and talk about how it felt. And in no way, shape, or form am I complaining, because I personally think that I have the best job on the entire planet. I wondered my whole life if I would find a career that let me be as creatively free and feel as both strategically driven and creatively driven as I do in the field that I'm in right now, which is the content creation, entertainment, social media marketing stuff. In engineering, I wish I was more creative. In film, I wish that I was more analytical. And I think I found the perfect balance of the two in what I'm doing right now. So I have nothing to say about my job, and I hope that in no way, shape, or form it comes off as complaining or like, oh, my life is so hard. Yeah. I'm not saying that, okay? Because I think that in one way or another, we all have experienced the situation I'm about to talk about in a macro or a micro scale. In high school, I can remember hearing people talk about me and it affecting my mental health. On social media, I can remember multiple occasions where I got comments that I read and affected my mental health from people who have never even seen me in person, have never met me, have never given me a hug, hello, have never shaken my hand. Similar to high school, have never spent time with me outside of the school system, have never spent time with me outside of a class. I can even think about engineering. Probably kids who had predetermined opinions about me because I was a girl in engineering, because I was a woman in STEM, and like that has such a connotation to it in the field. So I hope that you guys take what I talk about as like a little speck of dust and advice, and just what I've learned about confidence and self-worth and the topic of today. So here's how my week went. This is my story leading into it. My boyfriend got to meet one of my favorite artists. She's up there on my list as someone who just has an angelic voice, beautiful storytelling in her music. Her stuff makes me want to cry. I think that she is stunning. She physically is beautiful. And from what I've seen from interviews or any of the other media that she's done, you know she's like deeply rooted a good person on the inside. That being said, my boyfriend got to meet and interview Madison Beer, and I also got to meet her several weeks ago. We got to go to her pre-listening party. Kind of comes with the territory of dating a guy on radio. You get these like awesome perks where like when an event like this comes up, he's like, Anna, do you want to come? And I'm like, do I want to come? My name better be on that list. So that's exactly how that went for me. And I got to hear like the home to another, I know you go home to another one. If you haven't listened to it, it's so good. Not that I'm just going to spend the next like 10 minutes hyping up Madison Beer. I just hope you know she's so incredibly talented. This also, like I said, has nothing to do with the people in the story. So like, don't be thinking Madison Beer did something naughty. She did not. She is great. Listen, this is just about the lesson we're learning from the story I'm about to tell. Same with Brew. He did nothing wrong in this scenario. But as his job, he gets to interview these people. So he went and he played Madison Beer Pong. How creative is that? He plays this game with her. Honestly, I was jealous I wasn't invited to the interview to play the game as well. That's a lie. He did invite me, but I was just busy. Like always, he made a cool video of it and posted it on TikTok. I saw the video before it went up and the second it went live because I went on TikTok and I liked it and I, hyped it up, and then it was out in the universe. 4 or 5 days later, I was scrolling on my spam TikToks For You page. So you pretty much like get videos a second time by accident from that account. And while I'm scrolling, I get his Madison Beer video. And for the love of God, I don't know why I did it. I open up the comment section. This is where happiness dies, okay? every comment section ever, because the first few comments are like positive, like hyping them up, like, yes, Madison Beer, slay, as they should. But once you get like 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 25 down, you get to this beautiful gray zone where they're not about him and they're not outwardly negative, but they're passive aggressively attacking. Okay, I had a few thoughts about this. I just did a video on TikTok recently about how comments affect people and how I think people often forget that the person behind the phone is a human being. And it's so easy to leave a comment and then be like, and even forget that you left that comment. Like, I've left comments on videos, opened up videos and been like, I commented on that. I would never comment something mean. But sometimes I'm even like, oh my God, I didn't even know that I like left a comment on that video. Usually I'm just like hyping them up or being like, slay, or like, holla, or like, get me one too. Something like cheesy. Or like, if it's of a puppy, I'm like, so when can I have it? Also, 90% of my videos on my For You page are dogs. So, oh my God, my teeth just whistled. Is that normal in podcasting? The comment section in this video became immensely negative, immensely quickly. And things that I think would have 6 months ago really hurt my feelings, but right now didn't hurt my feelings as much as I just sat there and thought, what is wrong with society? Now you're probably wondering, what were these comments? Okay, just a handful. I didn't write them down on my super organized sheet of paper. Instead, I just have them in my brain for forever so I can hear them on repeat until I die. That's so sad, dude. I need to stop doing that. The comments included things like, I bet you're regretting who you dated now. Okay. I'm who he dated. Why would he regret that? Then so this is Anna's internal thoughts as she's reading these comments. The other one is like, date her instead. Which, like, how f***ed up is it that like literally no man and woman can be in the same room without somebody being like, ship? Don't get me wrong, people did to Brew and I. And like, I get it. It's funny. It's like, it's a cute thing, but also like, we're all in relationships. Nonetheless, I think that it was like an interesting thing of the comments consisted of people being like, at Anna Sitar, it's okay to be insecure. Which, that's kind of the ones that made me sit for a second and think, why? Like, my boyfriend is doing his job. Why would that make me insecure? Why would that make me feel like some type of way about who he's talking to? Also, I've gotten the chance to meet Madison Beer, a gem of a human being. She's kind, she's sweet, she's nice. She's stunningly beautiful. Do not get that twisted. Oh my gosh, there was definitely a time in my life where I for sure probably looked at her and was like, oh, man, if only I could look like that, all my problems would be solved. And as you get older, you realize that that's not true. And it comes with confidence. It comes with self-awareness. It comes with accepting who you are. Here is an analogy that I thought of the second I saw that comment. Madison Beer to me is like Black Cat energy. You know, she's like slick and cool and sly. And like, honestly, black cats are so cute. Like, slay. I always had black cats growing up named Lucky. So, I personally think I give golden retriever energy since the beginning of time. I could even be an orange cat. Who gives a okay, I give golden retriever energy. Madison Beer gives black cat energy. Since when have we ever said either of those animals are cuter than the other? When has one ever been better than the other? Unless you have a preference cat to dog, obviously. But like, which like you totally could. Still using that analogy, you totally could think that we're two different people and like, oh my God, no, I totally prefer black cat over golden retriever. I prefer golden retriever over black cat. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's not what I'm getting at. I don't understand why we can't be two different types of beautiful and still both be beautiful, and that her beauty doesn't lessen my worth or my beauty doesn't take away from anything else. We can both be two completely individual beings without being compared to one another. And consistently in society, women are put against each other to act as competition. She's beautiful. Just think about that. She's going to get more guys than you because she's more beautiful. She can be beautiful. Maybe she's more beautiful. Honestly, she probably is more beautiful. In all honesty, the only thing I felt in seeing the video was a little bit of envy that I didn't get to be there to hang out with Madison Beer too. But somehow, through a phone, from a bunch of people, the comments were like, oh my God, Anna, I'd be screaming, crying, and throwing up if I were you too. And it's kind of like, but I wasn't. Because I am so aware of my self-worth. I know what I deserve. I know she's beautiful. And I also know that I'm beautiful. And that isn't meant to sound vain. I know what a catch I am. My boyfriend being in the same room as another attractive woman doesn't make me insecure. I know what he'd be losing if he chose somebody else other than me. I'm pretty sure he knows that he'd be losing if he chose somebody else other than me too. And it's not to say that she's not absolutely perfect and stunning and wonderful and madly talented, and she also deserves a man who's going to pick her. But I'm just saying, so do I. Do you see what I mean? Let that sit with you for a second. And it's also Anna's disclaimers, because I always feel like my brain works in this way that thinks of what people are going to say negatively about me. It's kind of the way that social media has forked up my brain. It's that, like, I know some people are probably going to look at this and be like, oh my God, here she goes complaining. Like, you got a couple negative comments. Don't read them then. Absolutely. 100%. Even I didn't intend on reading them. I stumbled upon the video a second time and thought, oh my God, I wonder how people feel about it. And my brain did not for a second think that my own name would be in the comment section. Once again, another disclaimer. This video could have been anybody. And those are comments that I get regularly on my stuff. So it's not like I haven't seen them before. It's just interesting to me that once again in society we're trying to draw comparisons between women and say that because one is great or one is less. Individually, everybody has had their own successes. I think that we can all be different types of beautiful. I think that we can all exist in this world and not feel this need for competition. I think about that in social media a lot. I think about the fact that, people see somebody else doing better than them or gaining more followers or getting more likes, and they immediately, their brain goes, oh my God, they're better than me. There is enough to go around in this industry. There is enough to go around in every industry. You don't gotta put other people down to step on top of them. Just like there's enough beauty to go around. It's the same thing with the lights. Like, you sharing the light of your candle, which is like, I'm pretty sure supposed to be like the positivity or like your light, like your glow. No light gets dampened by sharing it with other candles. Like when you take a little wick and you like dip one into the next, the initial one never gets darker. It's the same across the board. You can spread happiness. You can spread positivity. You can talk about beauty. You can think of it as any characteristic, attribute, anything. And you don't lose worth just because somebody else also has it. And you're not competing for it either. That's the point I'm trying to drive home with the opening story of this. It's not to throw a pity party. It's not to be like, I get so many sad comments and I just cry myself to sleep every night. That could be partially true, but we're not gonna pretend like that's what I said. What I'm saying is that your confidence is valuable because a version of me a year ago would have seen this and would have been an emotional wreck. And to be honest, this version of me saw it and I didn't really feel anything, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I didn't feel like, you get this feeling in the pit of your stomach when you see somebody say something not nice about you. In any setting. It could be a girl who talks badly about you. It could be somebody who leaves a mean comment on your Instagram post in high school. It could be somebody who doesn't invite you to a party. I didn't have that, which go me for that. And I think that it shows the growth of my self-worth and even on my journey of life, of experiences, of adulting, of womanhood, I've gone through changes, and sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm doing all that much for myself. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm like, oh, I'm not progressing. Every day counts. And I think that this experience for me was a little bit of evidence of that, in the sense that I didn't get upset. And even more valuable than that, you don't lash out on the people who have no effect on it. Like, I'm hyper aware that none of those comments had to do with something that Brew did. None of those comments had to do with something Madison Beer did. None of those comments had to do with something that my parents did, and the way that I look. Because I look like my mom and dad. Why the No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm literally joking. Sorry. I think that my mom and dad are the cutest people alive, so I'm actually very blessed that I have their genes because I think that they're perfect. I'm just messing with you guys. That wasn't actually meant to be that aggressive, but it kind of started to sound aggressive. So I retreated immediately. How do I define confidence and how do I find my own? This is a complicated topic based off comments that I've gotten, based off things that I've heard from other people, based off ways that I think about myself. Because who draws the line of confidence and ego? And more importantly, who draws the line of confidence and vanity? When does it cross the line of being obsessed with yourself? I don't know. I think if you're boasting about yourself all day long, maybe that stems an issue. But I also think that overly compensating and boasting about yourself is deeper rooted in your insecurity and need to convince yourself mentally that you are that, even though you don't feel that. I think there's a sense of silent confidence for sure. I joked about this on a TikTok recently. I'm just going to keep talking about my TikTok. I joked about this on a TikTok recently where I was like, nobody makes the rules. And I mean that I went to like a party recently, and I went with a girlfriend, and it was an event for work, so it wasn't like it was like a party, and all the people there were everybody from professional athletes to actors and actresses to models. And there was a small part of my brain that was like, oh my god, what if the other girls are dressed differently than me? What if they're dressed prettier than me? What if I'm underdressed? What if I'm overdressed? What if I get there and I don't know anybody? And then I was like, oh my gosh, I almost forgot that nobody makes the rules. I almost forgot that like it really doesn't even matter. I could wear whatever I want if I wear it confidently. Does not matter what anybody else looks like. Also, like, you walk into a room and I'm looking around wondering like, oh my god, do these girls think I'm an outsider? Every other girl is probably thinking that exact same thing. And that's what I think is so interesting, is you walk in being like, okay, what do they think about me? Nobody gives nobody cares. Actually, in fact, nobody's looking at you. Everybody is worried about themselves. Everybody's thinking, oh my god, what if everybody thinks that I look weird? Same. Literally same. 90% of the time, that's what I bond over when I meet people in public. I'll like say something stupid like, oh my god, I know nobody at this party. Do you know how quickly that breaks the ice? She either is going to tell you, oh my god, really? I know, like, this isn't, wait, let me introduce you. You're going to get that girl, or you're going to get, stop, shut the fuck up, me either. Slay! And now we're in it together. It's the same thing as complimenting a girl when you walk in a room. That's how you make a best friend. But where does confidence come into this conversation? Because I'm getting very off track. Confidence walks the fine line of vanity and ego. I really think it does. And I think that at times confidence does cross over, but I think having an ego and knowing your self-worth doesn't always have to be a negative. I think that like knowing your self-worth and being aware like, you know what, that person treated me like shit, they actually don't deserve a seat at my table. Self-worth, confidence kind of comes on this teeter-totter of maybe there's times that you cross the line, and I think that the way you learn that you cross the line is by doing it. And then you go, you know what, that was not tasteful of me. Let's backtrack and try that again. And don't get me wrong, I've done that. It's like you say something and you're like, it comes out of your mouth and you instantly know where you're like, I just sounded so conceited. And there's even times, this is like Anna's minor fear of a podcast at times, is that I'm going to say something that I don't intend to come off a certain way, and it will. And I'm like, what the was I thinking? That's not how I meant. I didn't mean it in like a, look at how good I am. I meant it in like a, you know, it could even be storytelling. Sometimes I like forget how freaking nuts some of my experiences are, which it's not to say I take them for granted. It's just that like I'm in this like society right now, like in this entertainment industry, in this culture where like it almost feels like every room I walk into, people are telling me how much more they've achieved than me. So I like forget that the stuff that I do is so cool. That's horrible to forget, and it's a bad quality that I really do need to work on. But that's how I think we learn the line of vanity and ego and confidence. Confidence is like the subtlety of accepting in your own head and not having to be outwardly showing of your self-worth. When you're truly aware of what your self-worth is, you don't need to be outwardly showing those qualities. Everybody's gonna know what you deserve and know what you're capable of and what you can achieve from how wonderful and talented and able and capable you are. Circling back to the same topic though of how do I find my own and define confidence, I think there's two reasons that we feel confident. And I kind of broke this down with a friend of mine a few years ago, and I still think about it on a daily basis that him and I had this conversation. We were driving and he said to me like, where do you get your confidence from? I don't really know that I had all that much confidence, but like apparently through the phone it seemed like I did. And I said to him like, I think I get it from the bucket mentality. Can I change it in 5 seconds? No? Okay, then why am I worried about it? What's the opposite of confident? Insecure? Can we agree that the opposite of confidence is insecurity? Maybe. I'm going to say that for this scenario. Let's say I'm insecure about my nose, my stunning Polish nose that looks just like my mom that I cannot wait to pass down to my kids one day. That took a long time for me to accept because I think that a lot of people get work done in LA, especially like I'm in the mecca of it, that like I see somebody who has like a perfect nose. And once again, who made the rule that that was the perfect nose? Once again, sorry, my camera stopped recording. Nothing against people who get their noses done or get filler, Botox, facial, anything. Hundo P, power to you. If that is what you want to get done, if that's what brings you confidence, if that's what settles your mind, if that's what fills your soul, if that's what makes you feel good in your skin and good in your body, full forkin' send, okay? But if you're doing it because you think that society told you that your nose doesn't look good enough the way that it is, don't do that. My analogy is if I can't change it in 5 seconds, it's not worth worrying about right now. What does that apply to? Let's say that I'm insecure about my outfit, but I've already left the house and I can't fucking change it. So why am I insecure about it? Why am I worried about it? I can't change it. I might as well own what I have on, walk into that room and be the powerhouse of the woman that I know that I am and rock this outfit. Great. Let's say I'm insecure about my nose. Okay? Great example. Can I change it in 5 seconds? No. If I'm worried about it long term, can I get a nose job? Absolutely. Change it then and then be confident with the new one. But until then, you can't change it right now. So why are you worried about it? Don't be. This is the nose that you have. It's stunning. It shows your heritage. It shows your culture. It shows your mom, your dad, your family. It's what keeps you related. It's what keeps you grounded. It's what gives you originality. It's what keeps you unique. Fuck it. And that is the mentality. What's the other one? Because I said that there were two. It is the achievements mentality. Everything that you've achieved made you who you are today. And that's why you deserve to be confident. Now, I did it at the beginning of this podcast, whether you noticed it or not. That is my confidence stroke that normally gets men to talk to me. If I'm in a business thing and somebody looks at me and goes, oh, another influencer, I go, hi, I'm Anna. I got my master's in film and television production, my undergrad in mechanical engineering. I actually worked on medical technology for 3 years while I was in college. Suddenly everybody has ears. And I think that this is one that we use as women because we think that our worth is tied to what we're capable of. Like we have to prove ourselves. Like I can be confident and I can rest assured knowing that I've achieved X, Y, and Z. Kind of f***ed up if you ask me. But also, if this works for you, then you use it to your advantage. Let's say that you have a following on social media. You got your degree. You were National Honor Society. You were the Dean's List. You had a 4.0 GPA. Trust me, I've used these to prove myself, to be like, I deserve confidence because I've done this. It's a little bit different. It's less self-rooted and more outwardly rooted to prove to other people why you deserve self-worth and confidence. I don't like this one as much. You know, when are you just trying to prove yourself versus actually being in line with who you are as an individual? Like, that's why I personally think that I lean more on the fuck it mentality. Sorry, I keep saying that now. If I have to bleep all of these out, I'm so sorry. But I lean more on that mentality of trusting that, like, my self-worth is deeper than my physical or things that I can't change. Like, I know I have this. You're gonna know that I have this once I start talking to you. Now, sometimes I need to use little precursors to get my foot in the door to prove to you that I have this, but whatever works best for you. I think that it's like a thing of there's no right or wrong answer with any of this stuff either. And also, all of these are my own personal opinions. You could be like, Anna, everything you said in this little pretend podcast is stupid and I don't think you should have a podcast. And you want to know what? This is why we're practicing. Because you never know. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have a podcast. But these are just my little brain thoughts. Yeah, the note that I wrote on this piece of paper is, which one do I think is better? That's arbitrary. I think that it's more about which one do you resonate with more. If you can't have one, you can have the other. And if you don't think you can have either, I guarantee that you can. We're on the final speaking point of this little mini podcast. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Do we need to like get up and check our bodies out? Because I kind of feel like I do. Hang on. Do I just keep holding this mic? Oh, I've just been like cuddled up and sitting. I have so much work I have to get done. I'm going to this like Lego event tomorrow, which I'm super excited about because I freaking love Lego. And I still have to pick out an outfit for it. So I'm going to try to go to the Grove, which is one of my favorite shopping places, in the next 10 minutes and try to like, you know, get that done. And maybe I'm going to go to the Grove dressed in my gym clothes so I can go right to the gym after because my gym has a shower and a sauna and I love showering at my gym. Okay. Did you enjoy that little, what is it called? What's it called? Intermission. That's what it's called. I'm in film and couldn't remember the word intermission. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling so stupendous. You have no idea. Damn it. This last topic is a serious one. And I was kind of hoping we were going to end on like a really nice wrap up, but here we go. After spending the last, 30 minutes talking about confidence, I feel more confident than ever. But lately I've been struggling with not knowing who I am. How can my emotions feel so complex? There's no t at the end, is there? Complex. Anyway, the first note of this. I don't know. That's why I'm struggling with it. Thank you, Anna. This is so sad, you guys. Why the fuck am I so depressing? I look in the mirror recently and don't recognize myself anymore. Like, I see old videos and think, God, there I am. But while I'm creating now, I just feel very uncomfortable with myself. And I think that also stems into what I talked about in class, that I have this like discomfort with my voice where I don't really feel like I give like a chest voice. I give a very head voice. Teaser, because I guess you guys are going to learn about this eventually. I am going through some life changes. I don't know what that's supposed to sound like, but I'm going through some life changes and I don't get to share it on social media. And I often hear girls talk about this, like when they're doing things that they don't want to share just yet. Like there was definitely a time when I was going through a breakup where in case you didn't know, I didn't say that I was single right away. I spent some time to decipher in my own brain what I was going to say, and then it eventually came out. Similarly, I think that when we're going through life changes as content creators, especially as a lifestyle creator, when I'm not telling you what's happening, it like eats me alive, like I'm being dishonest. Or like my brain is very excited for this thing that's to come, but I can't tell you what I'm excited about. So I'm trying to like just make other stuff to divert myself from talking about it, but instead it looks disingenuous because it's not really what I'm thinking about right now. Does that make sense? Anyway, that's kind of what I feel like right now. But on top of that, I also just feel like I've been struggling with the idea of purpose. I've been struggling with this like it's not my midlife crisis, it's my quarter life crisis, but it's this feeling in adulthood of not knowing what I'm doing, which I think a lot of us in Gen Z are experiencing right now. We just came out of the last 3 years of being locked up at home and living a life that is completely different than what we've lived our entire lives up to this point. And on top of that, we're now experiencing this, I don't even know how to describe it. I had never been so in tune with myself as I was when like COVID hit, which is kind of weird to say. My life was flipped upside down, but I never spent so much time alone, like literally alone in a room by myself as I did during that time. And now I'm back in society and I feel so disconnected from myself, which is why I started taking yoga, which is why I started trying to do different things in life, which is why I keep signing up for different classes and trying to find like, what do I like? What do I enjoy? What's my favorite thing to do? I don't feel as creative. I don't have as many stories as I used to. I'm not around people anymore. I'm working all the time, but what I'm working on is supposed to be what I do for lifestyle living, and if I'm not living my lifestyle, then I'm not actually going to have any content to come up with, but I can't be doing content and coming up with it when I'm working all the time. I think that I let myself be worried about it more than I need to. I remember having this issue when I was graduating from college, that I remember sitting at my desk in a mechanical engineering role and thinking to myself, there's absolutely no fucking way that I can sit in this desk for the next 50 years. And I had also, on top of that, just signed an offer to stay at the company for the next 50 years. Obviously not 50, but you know what I mean. I did something crazy, which was the best decision I've ever made in my life. But now that I am 26 years old, doing something crazy doesn't seem stable. Like, I was only 21 when I made the decision to apply to grad school and move out to LA to get my master's. And by no means do I think I threw away my engineering degree, because I knew that I could always go back to that career path if it fell through. If I was like, you know what, maybe film wasn't for me, I'm not really that crazy about it, and I need money, I could be an engineer still. None of that knowledge left. I have every little bit of it that was in there. Do I need to rehearse on some of my freaking formulas? Absolutely. But it's still all up there. That's a topic for another time. What I did in the moment is I followed what I felt very genuinely true about. And lately, I just feel like I haven't been feeling much. Although I feel very confident and very sure of myself. And I love what I do for work. And I'm the happiest I've ever been. I love where I live. I have a loving, caring partner. My relationship with my parents has never been better. All these things that are like the normal pillars of life are full. All my pillars are freaking rock hard, baby. Rock hard. What's not rock hard is my feeling. I feel like I have really good friendships, and I do laugh quite a bit, and I feel good. I go out and I do things, but I just feel like I used to be so naive and curious, and I kind of got like a little bit tainted, and I think it's from maybe a little bit of reading too many comment sections. Maybe it's from just growing up and realizing that like age and getting older, like I almost lost like my playfulness, which makes me really emotional. Makes me just kind of feel like I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's also that fear that I feel like I can't complain because I have the best job on the planet. And I know that I do. And I'm so thankful every single freaking day for it. And like I'm doing exactly what I would have wanted to. In the same way, like I just don't know why I feel a little bit numb lately. So I don't know if I'm even going to include that in the podcast, because that's a really depressing topic that I actually I don't have the answer to. But I just wanted to throw it out there. It's not even on this piece of paper. I don't know why I keep looking at it. There's no answers there. It ended on me being like, I don't know, that's why I'm asking. But what I think I should say is, if you feel this way, just know that you're not alone. Okay? Because life is full of ebbs and flows. And hang on. Actually, it's so funny that I'm saying this right now, because hang on one second. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be so worth it once you hear. If you're wondering what scripts look like from class, I'm holding mine right now because I wrote something that my professor said today. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, I know. Okay, this is what kind of hit me in class today, because I've been feeling this way lately a little bit. I've been feeling that like kind of sense of numbness, and we talked about dogs. Back to the golden retriever and black cats, okay? We talked about dogs in class today, and how if you own a dog, you know the dog gets so excited every time you walk in the door, because their life, like one month of their life is equivalent to 1 year of yours, that their life is so remarkably shorter. They have no perception of time. So when you leave, even if it's for like 2 minutes, your dog is like ecstatic to see you come back into the house. And the reason that my professor said that, or I call him my professor because I'm just used to college, but we know that he's just like a teacher or acting coach, whatever you'd prefer to call him. I'm going to stick with professor because I'm not going to unlearn that trait. At least not during the span of this podcast. Professor, teacher, acting coach said that maybe it's because dogs know that their time is short. Like they're aware that they don't have forever. So they live it for all in all. They're kinder. They're more forgiving. They're more accepting. They say hello to everyone. They live life at this gentler, carefree pace, because we put so much pressure on ourselves to have every little thing figured out because we think that that's what everybody else has. Like I live my life thinking like, okay, so once I finish this month, I have traveling for the first 20 days of July, and then once I get home, I'm going to have 2 weeks, and then I'm going to have a little bit of time for content. My content's already planned for that because I know that Taylor Swift's coming to LA, and then I'm going to have an idea for when she gets here, and then when she's gone, I'm going to have to come up with something else, but then it's going to be September, and I know that I'm going to a wedding in Michigan, and I know that... Why don't we stop doing that? Because I think that I need to stop doing that. And I wrote in this while he's telling us this. I said, we're all going to go away one day. Not yet, so please stick around for a little bit more. But why not live right now? Be kinder, say good morning, be forgiving of yourself, and give this life all that we've got. Take every day like it's a new beginning. I used to say that all the time, and I kind of stopped saying it, and I regret that I stopped saying it. But wake up every morning and do one thing that is for yourself. Is it going to the gym? Is it making your favorite snack? Is it taking the class that you've always wanted to take? Is it signing up for the class you've always wanted to take? Is it buying yourself a pack of gum? Is it buying yourself a cute little freaking widget that sits on your dashboard of your car so you have something that makes you smile every day? I don't give a damn. Actually, I do give a damn. Please tell me what you got, because I would love ideas for what I can do for myself. I just think that we should take our time to be nicer to ourselves, nice to the people around us, and maybe live every day to the fullest, in the sense that we actually don't know what forever is. But I can tell you that none of us have it, and maybe living with a little bit positive, a little bit of like looking for the good in every day, even though every day can't be good, there's got to be something that you did right each day. So do something right for yourself. But you guys, did we just survive our first podcast? I think I did. Was it good? I actually don't know what I talked about. I feel like I like word vomited at you guys for a solid hour, and I'm going to see this in editing. I'm going to know what I said in editing because I still don't know right now. Also, I hope that my mouth noises weren't annoying. I don't know if they were or not. It's my first podcast I've ever recorded, and I'm about to listen to them for the next hour or however long it's going to take me to edit this. How do we close this out? Thank you so much for listening, you guys. This was Anna Pretends to Have a Podcast. You can listen to it only on YouTube at none of your streaming platforms because I don't know how to do that stuff. But if you enjoyed it, let me know because I would do this again. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Would you recommend me to your friends? Actually, don't answer that. I'm very sensitive to comments, and so I hope that nothing negative comes up on this video. That being said, don't be mean and comment negative just because you know that I'm going to see it and because you know that it's going to hurt my feelings. I hope that you spend your weekend, if this is hopefully coming out on Friday, if it's coming out on Saturday, babe, go to that dance floor tonight. And if it's coming out on Sunday, do your Sunday reset. Get those groceries done. Spend the day going for a walk. Look at the sunshine for a little bit. Kiss someone that you love. Or your cute little golden retriever black cat pet. And I just hope you guys know how worthy you are. How much you deserve to have self-confidence. How much you deserve to be appreciated and to be surrounded by people who not only remind you of how much you deserve, but empower you to know for yourself. You're worthy. You're incredible. You're amazing. I'm proud of you. You're doing such good things. If you feel numb, we're all there. I feel it with you. We're going to make it through. It's going to take a couple more sunshine days. It's going to take a couple of getting knocked down to get back up, to know that you're strong enough too. And I love you. I'm so happy that you're here. Have a great rest of your afternoon or evening or morning or weekend or week or day. Okay. I love you. Bye.